Hey everybody, what is up? I am getting ready to go glow-in-the-dark bowling, and I thought I would film a little tutorial to get ready with me before we go. So this is going to be my first tutorial where I'm actually speaking and telling you guys step by step what I'm going to do, so I hope you enjoy. Okay, so start with the face, obviously, and I am pretty much a broke girl. My makeup box is full of just the essentials. I don't have like tons and tons of makeup. I get most of my makeup from the dollar store or Walmart or Target. It's not anything too fancy. Yeah, so this is actually my favorite foundation, as crazy as it sounds. It is LA Colors, which is like from Family Dollar or Dollar General or something like that. And it's literally the best foundation that I found that's in my price range. It's literally $4. So I just like the coverage of it and the way it goes on. I like to put a little moisturizer, which, girl, for me, moisturizer is literally whatever lotion I have on hand. This is like some sensitive skin shit or something like that. I like to put some of that on. And then I go in with my foundation. I literally do everything with my fingers too. I have a beauty blender. It's just not my go-to. I'm literally so much more of like a hands-on, blend it out with my fingers if I can kind of person. So you see like how much coverage that gives me, and I literally use one little pump of it. I just feel like this is the only way that I can like tell if it's pressed into my skin correctly and I'm not like leaving cakey foundation in certain places. Alright, now I go in with the setting powder all over my face. So I'm going to use this CoverGirl setting powder. It's like a pressed powder foundation kind of deal. I like it because sometimes I'll use just a translucent setting powder with a brush, but this, I find, having the foundation in it, it definitely kind of adds a little more extra coverage. This is like the poofer thing that came with it. I do, when I'm using a loose setting powder that's not pressed, I'll use my big brush here, and I use this also to get off the excess after I put this on with the little fluffer thing. You can see it's like super powdery and setting extra of it on my skin, so that's kind of what the brush is for, is to take that away. This. Okay, and there our face is set with the powder, but we need to go in with contour now. Okay, so I hope to make this super easy for anybody that is not a contouring genius. I have a $7 contour palette from e.l.f. Obviously, it's been thoroughly loved and used. It has contour powders and a blush, and these are all highlighters up at the top. So I use the darkest one mixed with the medium shade and then just a little bit of the lighter shade so it's not too dark. And I take my brush, and you see where my cheekbone is right here. You can already kind of see the shadow of it. So I just take my brush and enhance that shadow. I kind of start somewhere in the middle of where I want to take it to and where it goes back, so that you don't have a harsh line going out. And then I just kind of buff up and into my hairline. And now you can see this side is a lot more enhanced than this side. This is plain. This is with the contour. If you want the contour to be super sharp, you can, whoops, here's my dog's ear getting in my way. All right, go lay down, Bubby. He loves to get into my, he likes to stick his face into my makeup box and try to run away with the beauty blenders and the brushes and all that. Okay, so if you want the contour to be extra sharp, you can take your powder and go right underneath of it where you can kind of see that line and definition. Let that sit for a little bit, and we'll wipe it off when we're done with the other side. Okay, so again, I'm just taking those two contour shades, enhancing that cheekbone area. Then we're gonna buff up. We don't want any harsh lines. the harshest line you want, and it doesn't even need to be harsh, is a straight edge at the bottom. But yeah, so now we're contoured on both sides. This side has the powder, I'll put it on this side. Boom. And now we're gonna contour the rest of the face. So take those again, and we just wanna go around the jawline lightly. Make sure you're blending. You don't want any harsh lines around the forehead. You want to literally make like a 3 around your face. So around the forehead, we're blending that in. I go about to the middle of the brow and around because you want a more luminous, lighter shade around the center of your forehead. All right, now my face is contoured. We're gonna go in with the nose. So I literally don't use a different brush for my nose. I just kind of pinch it together to create more of a straight line. I just pinch it a little bit like that, and I go in. My nose was broken when I was younger, so I have a hard time contouring my nose and making it look not any more crooked than it is. You can see I literally, my nose, the bone inside of it is like this, so it's setting more over to this side. So the trick for me is getting it to not look more crooked than it already is. And I have a kind of a bulbous nose, so I just go around the edges like that, and then a little bit in the middle where my nose kind of turns up, just to create more of a cute turned up kind of nose look. And just blend that in. And now the face is pretty much contoured. So blush, we don't need a lot, we just want a little. Oh, and I'm not even using the right brush. That brush is a little harsh when it comes to blush. I like this one. And girl, all these brushes I have are cheap dollar store brushes too, but they do the job. So we go in with this one, and it puts it on really lightly and pretty. You don't want to take it too far in or too far. You kind of blend it up into the contour, but you don't want it to be too pink back there. So again, on this side, we just take it and kind of lightly, make sure my stuff is focused here. Lightly brush that back into the contour, and now we have a little color in our face. I like to do a little bit on my nose and just around there. Okay, now we're good to go. Highlight is next. Okay, so for a highlight, I like to use the really light one because my skin is pretty pale, so I use this whitish one and then the champagne one, and I mix them together. Oops. And I go from right here where I can feel my cheekbone at its like most prominent and take it back. With my other finger, I just kind of buff it in so that there's not a harsh line of highlighter. And then when you turn to the side, you see the sparkle. It's really pretty and cute. It's my highlight is one of my favorite parts. I like to put a little bit on the tip of my nose and just a little line up the nose. You can see that. Cupid's bow. That will make the lipstick really pop when we put it on. Right here, I feel my cheekbone at its most prominent point and go back. Ooh, look at that glow, girl. All right, take my other finger and just kind of blend it in. Now, I highlight the inner corners of my eyes because that definitely makes your eyes pop when you have your finished eye look complete. And then a little under the brow bone. And we are contoured and highlighted. All right, eyebrows. This is a little e.l.f. eyeshadow palette I have of like, it's like a matte eyeshadow palette of nudes and fall time-ish colors. I just take the black and the brown, and I start around here. I go back. I don't do my eyebrows as crazy as a lot of other beauty influencers because I don't think they need to be super insane. So I'm just worried about getting a darker color in a nice shape. I don't go in like with the concealer after I shape my brows and make them extra pointy and perfect. Like, no girl, we don't have time for that. We're just doing the most basic, easy eyebrow. So you see where I put the darker powder, and you see I'm starting to taper off towards the front. So at the front, I don't add any more powder to my brush, and I just kind of take what's already on the brow and blend it forward so we get kind of a lighter ombre effect at the front. And then I'm just kind of using my natural brows to their advantage. So that's how I do my eyebrows. You can see over here, this one is crazy, needs some work. Over here, we're looking good. Okay, so when I say I go in with my fingers a lot, I'm literally not kidding. I'm taking into this like lilac periwinkle kind of color over here. We're just gonna put her on with our finger. Now, I'll put like the pigment on with my finger, but that doesn't mean I won't blend with the brush. But once I get the majority of the color where I need it to, then I will use my brush. And I do not have this look planned. This is who knows what's gonna happen, so every day is different. We don't know. All right, we may end up looking like clowns, who knows? Okay, so I put the purple, and now I'm gonna go in with a darker, this is like a blackish kind of shade over here for the crease. We're just gonna go for like a smoky purple moment. So I take this and I kind of like just pat it into where I'm gonna end up wanting to go before we blend. So I kind of like go along my lash line around the corner and up about a third or so of the way into the crease, not quite half. And you can already see the definition is starting to come in there. And then I'll take this under my eye, give some shadow and definition. Okay, now we're starting to come together. Okay, so now I'm just gonna kind of blend this blackish color lightly up a bit so that it doesn't look so harsh. And you can end up bringing the crease color in a little bit more, but you just don't want it to be harsh and dark. So that's why when you're patting it on, you want to stay around this area. And then you can always blend and buff it out more, but you don't want to add too much product where you don't want it to end up. So there we go. We have like a smoky purple moment going on over here. And I don't know what's happening here. Okay. Now we're going to do it on the other eye. We've packed it on for the most part where we want it to stay, and now we're going to blend it out. So I'm going to take her over here and lightly buff this up and out just a little bit. All right, now we're looking symmetrical for the most part. Okay, so I'm also going to take a little bit of this darkish purple color here and just kind of blend it into the crease as well. Okay, looking good. Now what I'm gonna do is this color right here is something else. It is a beautiful iridescent bluish purple pink. I don't even know how to describe it. My phone's not wanting to like pick it up super great, but it is awesome. So I'm going to take that over the lid just to add a little shimmer over this purple. It looks really nice over this purple. You can just see that adds so much more like luminescence and definition. Okay, on this lid too. You don't want to take it up into the crease, just where we first laid that purple at. And then we're going to take it in the inner corner over that white highlighter we popped in there. Pretty much a finished eyeshadow look, I'd say. This is for people like me who maybe don't have the time or the money to put into it, but they still want to look good. I pride myself on being a bad bitch on a budget. So this is my $3 e.l.f. eyeliner, and it is so freaking bomb. It is the best eyeliner I've used. I won't go back to anything else. Okay, so when I'm doing my eyeliner, I like to start with like the main line. I should be doing this in a mirror because I'm trying to do it in my phone monitor and it's not going to be going so well if I do that. Okay, so I'm gonna do it so you can still see right here. Okay, and then I close my eye and I take it from this very out corner over here all the way to the lash line. So, just watch. One swift motion. Boom. Okay, so now we're pretty, well, I didn't quite go down to the lash line, but now we have like where we can fill our wing in. You can see that. Okay. So now I just fill it in. And I'm going to take the tiniest tip of my eyeliner down here where I want the eyeliner to stop. I'm going to go over and fill that in. All right, we got a wing, ladies and gentlemen. So now we have both eyes on. As I mentioned, I am just a broke girl on a budget from Ohio. I'm in a band, so that's kind of why I've learned to get myself so balling on a budget, like bad bitch on a budget, you know what I mean? I have to look good on stage in photos and videos, things like that. And I just don't have the money to put into it like maybe some people do. It's very much everything that we do is DIY, that kind of thing. This is mascara from Dollar General. It was like $2, I think. Okay, so this is mascara for one eye. It looks a lot better. I do lashes sometimes, but I honestly, for like everyday thing, no. It's more of like super special occasions. That kind of thing. I just go with my mascara. It does the trick pretty well. And I think my lashes end up looking pretty good regardless. I'm trying not to make that same crazy mascara face that everyone makes, but it's gonna happen, so just deal with it. Not too much so it's not clumpy. Alright, we're looking good to go. We just need some lipstick and we are ready. This is how I do my lipstick. I will probably mess it up, but I'm going to show you the easiest way that I've found. I overline my lips. If you can tell, they're not huge. I don't have injections. These are just my lips. So I'm going to show you how I get the most out of my lips when I'm working with this $2 lipstick from, you guessed it, Family Dollar. They smell so good. It smells like vanilla and they work great. They work just as well as, dare I say, Jeffree Star Cosmetics or anything like that. Okay, so I start with my Cupid's bow. And I go over where my lips are. 2 swipes. Usually I'm trying to do this in my phone monitor. Again, we're gonna not do that. I'm gonna get my mirror. Okay, so I do the 2 little things and then I go down to the corner. Then you correct a little bit if you need to after you make your first initial swipe down, but just like the eyeliner, you want to do it in one good motion and then adjust from there. So here's the other side. And everybody's lip shape is different. It's going to be different for everybody, but this is how I do mine. And already the lips are looking bigger, more fuller. Hopefully not too crazy, but with the bottom I usually do one from this corner, one to the other corner, and then I adjust if I have any weird wonky lines. Dare I say too that this is literally one dip into the tube and it's kind of thin, but it still has great coverage and hello, it's gonna stay on all night. Just like any other liquid lip though, if you're gonna be eating like greasy foods or anything like that, you're gonna need to reapply once in a while, but
it works great. It lasts all day. That's why I like it for performing and things like that. So I'm going to fix this mop top, throw on some clothes, and we're gonna go bowling. See you in a few. All right, guys, this is the finished look. We are getting ready to go out. See you guys later.